Hello, and welcome to Get In We're Going Healing, a place where we talk about mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being to help you learn to let go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. My name is Tovah, and I will be your guide. So if you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So on this show, what I do is I share what I notice going on in the collective. I share my knowledge on my spiritual healing journey, and I try to give context for all those who are also on this journey who might need some help, who might be struggling, who might not have the information, who might not have the connections, and just kind of share what I learned in my journey and then how to apply that to situations in your life. So one of the themes that I have been noticing very strongly over the last week or two are themes about relationships. Now, if you are catching this when it is going live, we are in the dark time of the year. We are in the part of the year where things are cold, things are dying, plants are dying. It's the dead times, is what they're known as, the dark times. There is usually scarcity. There is lack of food. There is lack of shelter. There is lack of warmth. And this translates in multiple different ways for people. It's not just like the actual external environment. It's our internal environment. We are, if you're catching this when it goes live, we are just about a week out from Christmas. And during the holiday season tends to be the time of year where depression is highest, loss of life is higher, both due to internal factors and to external factors. So this time of year, there tends to be a lot of darkness. And that also means all of our shadow aspects come up. Your shadow aspects are the elements of yourself that you deny, you push away, you pretend don't exist, that sort of thing. Elements of yourself that you are ashamed of, elements of yourself that you deny because others told you should be ashamed of it, because others told you it wasn't worthy or valuable or useful or whatever words they gave to deny an aspect of yourself. So you in turn end up denying that aspect of yourself as well. So why am I bringing this up? Because I have noticed a trend lately amongst people I know, as well as along the internet. I'm just seeing a thread where people are being triggered by external factors and then being really focused on how the external factors affected their internal environment. What do I mean by that? So, for example, I am noticing a lot of people who are having issues within their relationships where their partner is behaving in a certain manner, and it's causing them to be highly focused on the behavior of their partner. I'm just going to move my mic here a bit, just so we can make sure I'm heard. Where they are highly focused on the behaviors, the misbehaviors, the missteps of their partner, and then wondering, like, how do I deal with them? How do I deal with their problems? I shouldn't have to put up with what they're doing to me. Okay. So here's what I want to say about this. The things that happen outside of you aren't the important part. Yes, I know. When you're in the midst of a conflict with your partner, your friends, your family, your coworkers, children, whatever it is, when you are in the midst of a conflict with them, you of course are going to see that they're the one bringing the conflict to you. They're the one creating the situation that creates the internal conflict that you experience because of their external things coming to you. But on this healing journey, nothing is a coincidence. Nothing. Okay? I do not believe in coincidences. Everything is information. Everything is a sign. Everything is an opportunity. Okay? An opportunity to do the work, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to change. Everything that you encounter, every experience, every person, everything. Someone on the road cuts you off. You have a choice. You can be gracious and be like, oh, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. Or you can flip them the bird, be angry. What are you doing? Why'd you do that? Blah, blah. And then focus on that. Come home and say, oh, this guy on the roof, blah, blah, and make a whole thing about it. And now your entire mood, your entire experience has shifted because of one person cutting you off, which you don't even know the whole story. You don't know if that person's a terrible person. You don't know if they did it on purpose. You don't know any of that. You just know that it created a stimulus that created a negative feeling within you. And then you chose whether or not to act in that way. So had you chosen, you know what? Go ahead. It's okay. The road is shared. And then you turn on the radio and you let it go and you move on. You're not spending your day focused on that negativity. These are choices within you. These are choices that you can choose to take. Now, let's take it into a more personal, smaller level. When your partner is upset over something sets them off, whatever the trigger is. I don't know, dirty clothes on the floor. I don't know, you spent too much, you overspent, whatever. Lots of examples, lots of things that could happen that can create your partner to be triggered. Okay. So they come to you all in a tizzy, panties all knotted up in a bunch, right? All worked up. Now, what I'm noticing with those around me is they are being triggered by that, and then they are blaming their partner for creating the negative feelings that they feel within. Not unlike the example I gave of somebody cutting you off in traffic. Blaming their partner for the negative feelings. Now, why is this unhelpful? Well, first thing, your partner brought something to you. They brought it to you because something's worked up. Now, maybe they didn't present it in the nicest way. Maybe their presentation of the thing that was bothering them was accusatory, finger pointing, blame, that sort of thing. Not saying that's okay. Okay, just, okay. With that, they're bringing something to you, maybe not in the best way, but they're bringing something to you that bothers them. You're hearing, this is your fault. I'm blaming you. You have to take responsibility for this. I'm in this boat because of you. Okay. And then you get defensive and you're being reactionary to what's happening. Again, just like the person cutting you off, reactionary to something somebody else has done. But on this healing journey, it's not about being reactionary. It's about recognizing what that trigger is bringing up inside of you. So if your partner comes to you, let's give an example. Let's say your partner comes to you with bills and they're upset because you spent a lot of money on something for you that isn't for the collective. It's just for you. You spent a lot of money on something just for you. And your partner comes to you stressed out, freaked out, worried because you spent money on this, but we're saving and scrimping for this. And they're mad at you for that. A lot of people, what their reaction is going to be is to get defensive. I deserve to spend money on me. I deserve to do something nice for me. Why is it you can spend money on you, but I can't spend money on me? This has happened in my relationship. I have been in this conversation more times than I can count. I have 10 fingers or 4 fingers or 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. I would need more than that for the amount of times we've had this argument and this conversation in my past. And my response is defensiveness. I'm defensive because, well, I should be allowed. I only ever spend my money on the family. I only ever spend money on the people around me and take care of everyone else. I need to take care of my needs. And my partner is coming back with, but we need to save money and we're not going to have enough, blah, blah, blah. And it becomes a big thing. And then it's me defending my position, me defending why my actions were a certain way, and my partner defending why his actions are a certain way, and nobody is listening. Nobody is hearing the other person. Everyone's reacting, not even responding, reacting to the behavior of the other person. They made me feel this way, which is why I'm reacting this way. And then when you feel you react in a certain way, they react in a certain way. And all it creates is, right? That helps nobody. I'm not saying your partner is right in the way that they're bringing things to you. I'm saying if on this journey, everything that happens to us happens as a trigger, as an eye-opener, as something that's designed to show us where we still have healing to do, where we still have work to do, then when your partner comes to you and it creates a trigger within you, your partner is simply the messenger. And again, interchange these phrases where necessary. Your coworker, your boss, your kids, your friends, whatever. They are simply a messenger to alert you to where you are still needing to heal. Okay? So if you get defensive, using the example I gave of spending money on yourself where you usually don't, and your partner gets very upset about that, okay? Your defensiveness is, I deserve to have nice things. I deserve to have things that are good for me. And you're not hearing your partner's concerns. You're only hearing, I deserve this for me. What's underneath that defensiveness, is actually a point that you don't take care of yourself. You don't take care of your own needs. And then you feel guilty when you do take care of your own needs. Okay, where you might put yourself last, where you might have a behavioral pattern of people pleasing and then needing to defend that because you need people to be happy with you. You need them to like you, whatever reason. Your journey is your journey. Your reasons are your reasons, okay? But the point is, when these things come to you, they are showing you where pain is still existing. Why? Because if you did not have pain there, you would not be reactive. If that was a wound you had already healed, the not good enough, the not worthy, the, unloved, uncared for, unappreciated, those things, okay? When those are triggered, it's showing you that you still have problems where you don't appreciate yourself, you don't value yourself, you don't consider yourself. Okay, that's why it creates such a feeling. It creates such a reaction because it hits on something that feels kind of true. It's the nail on the head thing. It hits on something that's kind of true. So for you, because you don't take care of yourself and you did something that you took care of yourself and someone got upset about that, if you knew that taking care of yourself was important and you knew that you'd done all the other things and you did a little something for yourself, you wouldn't be reactive if you knew that that was valuable to you, if you knew that that was something that was high priority for you. Let me give an example just to kind of make that clear. I know that's not the clearest, so let me try to give an example to help clarify that. So let's say that you know that taking care of your own needs and spending a little on yourself of something that you really want, something that would make you genuinely happy, is good for you. Just like you would spend on those around you and you would buy things for them that would make them happy because you love them. And you do that for yourself because you love yourself. Okay. And their reaction is, rah, 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 rah. If you know you did it for you and you're not guilty about it, you don't feel guilty about it, you don't feel bad about it, you know that it was the right thing for you to do, you're not going to get real defensive. Okay. You're going to come from a place of calm where you say, no, yes, I understand that there's concern about the finances. Yes, I understand that I took a moment to buy a little something for myself. It wasn't very expensive. It was something that I did for myself. I understand that creates concern and worry within you. That's okay. You are allowed to feel however way you feel. I did this for me though, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I've taken precautions for other things. This is something I did for me. It's not something I'm going to be doing very frequently. It's not something I'm going to be doing a lot where you have to be concerned about the things moving forward, bills being tight, whatever. It's something I did for me to show myself love. The reason that you're reactive is because you feel a little guilty doing something for yourself. And then when someone points it out, it brings that guilt forward. So the thing they're trying to show you is that you still hold guilt about taking care of yourself, about meeting your own needs, about doing things kind for yourself, right? On the flip side, their thing that they're working on, again, not your responsibility. We've talked about this ad nauseum on this channel, but other people's feelings are not your responsibility to fix. Okay, those are their triggers meant to show them stuff that they need to work on. It is not your job to fix it. I'm going to say it again. It is not your job to fix it. Just like you are on your journey, learning to heal your stuff, they are on their journey, choosing or not choosing, whatever path they take, to do the work to heal their own wounding. Okay, your job is not to heal it for them. Your job is not to make life easier for them, to heal that for them, because you're not going to be able to. I'm not saying make life harder for them. I'm saying acknowledge that whatever they're doing, whatever they're reacting to, is because of something that is wounding them inside. It is not you that they are actually upset at. It is the feeling that they are dealing with, and you just happen to be the person that they've decided is the cause of that feeling. It is not your job to fix the feeling. Now, the reason I say that is if you're dealing with a masculine partner, okay, who is concerned about finances, understanding that their perspective, being that they're the lower 3 chakras, right? Security and stability, including financial stability, is the root chakra, okay? When they are activated, when they are concerned, it is due to fear of not having that security and stability. They are afraid of not having enough. They are afraid of being in insecure, unstable type situations. And so they are trying to exert as much control as they can to mitigate that, to reduce the feelings of tension, stress, anxiety, worry, fear that are coming along with the fact that their root chakra is unbalanced. That is not your job to balance their root chakra. You could not, even if you wanted to. Even if you never, ever, ever spent money on yourself and only covered the bills and saved, they would still experience that fear of lack, because that is a wound within them that they must face. That is not your job. You cannot face it for them. Now, can you support them? Absolutely. You can bear in mind that this is something that they are working on and try to support and help, but it is not your job to fix it. It is not your job to people please. It is not your job to sacrifice so that they feel more secure and stable. That is not your job. Your job is to recognize when they bring something to you and it activates you, to do the work to look at what is being activated within me, what wound is being touched. It might be that they're making you feel guilty because you did something for yourself, which again, underneath that is, I don't deserve to have these things. Now I feel bad that I did this nice thing for myself when it could have gone to something else to support someone outside of me. You are allowed to do things that make you feel good. When your partner, friend, coworker, whatever, comes to you all worked up, all tied in a knot, it is not your job to untie the knot. That's theirs. If they come to you all worked up like that, and it causes you to get all tied into a knot, that's the part that's your job. Why does that trigger cause that reaction within you? Where does that stem from? That's what this healing is about. It's not about, you cannot control anyone outside of you. You cannot control your partner's behavior. You cannot control the strangers out there cutting you off in traffic. You cannot control your coworkers. You cannot control your children. You cannot control anyone who is not you. You are the only person you have control over. Your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. That's it. Just you. So if something outside of you is creating a reaction within you, you are the one that must go, oh, wow, I'm having a reaction to that. Okay, all right. What did that bring up? What is that showing me? What is inside me that still needs to be addressed? That's it. That's all it is. It is actually a gift. I know. When you are in the moment, it does not feel like a gift. It feels pretty awful. I know. I am on this road too, right along with you. I might be a little farther ahead, but I am also on the road. I recognize that this stuff feels pretty awful when it happens. But when you get to the point of understanding that all of these things are just catalysts to show you what is still within you, if you try to see it like a video game, that you are the main character and these other characters are bringing these things to you as an opportunity for you to choose your own adventure. Do you go this way? Do you go that way? Do you react this way? Do you react that way? What's causing this? Let's do a backstory. Let's do a mirror montage. Woo! Right? Let's do a flashback. It's meant to show you what that flashback is meant to bring up for you. If you could have like a TV show where you've got a flashback and you can go like, oh, what did that trigger in me? And you could bring a flashback memory of a childhood version of you who went through something similar, experienced pain, suffering, anguish due to that thing. Then you can go, oh, that's why this far in the future, this is creating the sensation for me because it stemmed from this other thing that happened way back there in the flashback. It is actually a gift for someone to trigger you. It is actually a gift for them to bring up those feelings in you. Because if you do not know they are there, you cannot work on them. And as you heal more, those woundings that are deep down there, they got to come up. Okay, they can't live there forever. If you're going to release them, if you're going to lighten the load and release all this pain, it must come to the surface, which means you must be triggered into that sensation so that you can recognize it and do the work to let it go. It must. You cannot push it down and repress it and hope that it'll just magically fix itself. That's not how the healing road works. That's not how this path works. It works by you doing the work that when it is brought up to you, you recognize it, you move through it, you process it, whatever those tools are that you are using to do that, that's how you do it. And it comes up for your attention, for it to be released. Sometimes it's simply you just need to feel through the feeling. Nothing to do, nothing to fix, you just gotta feel it. Feel the sensation, feel the emotion, let that guilt come up, let that sadness come up, let that, whatever it is, let it come to the surface. It might not even be that particular situation that you are reacting to. More often than not, it's reminding you of something else that caused that same sensation and bringing it up so that you can release the emotion that's connected to it. The guilt, the shame, whatever it is, so that you can release that. It is not the situation that's important. It is how it brings up the identical emotion that happened from the wounding in the past, simply so that you can recognize it and release it. It is a gift to be triggered. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is. So when I do my gratitude practice, I often say, thank you for whatever difficult situation I am in right now, because I know that there is a lesson here that I need to learn. Thank you for the lesson that you are bringing to me so that I may heal on a deeper level. Thank you for the conflict that I am experiencing with my partner, with my family, with my friend, with my child. Thank you for bringing that to me, because in bringing it to me, you are making me aware of something that I still need to work on. It is genuinely a gift. So, when we are caught up in this blame, about blaming our other person, the person outside of us, for what they did, what they said, how they behaved, it's not about blame. It's about thank you for bringing that situation to me so that I can see it. Maybe you need to learn boundaries. Maybe you need to recognize what is yours to work on and what is theirs to work on. And simply by them bringing it up and putting their baggage onto your cart might be all you need to say, whoa, that's not my baggage. Well, my cart's already got stuff on it. You need to put your baggage on your baggage cart. That's not my baggage. I am not going to sort that for you. Okay? I mean, you don't have to be rude about it. You can just be like, that sounds like something that you need to work on. That doesn't really again, that might come off as, depending on how you phrase it, that might come off as rude and dismissive, which is going to be more upsetting for the other person. We want to meet them with compassion. Again, I want to really focus on this. If this is someone that you love, if this is someone that you want in your life, you need to remember that when you respond to them, it needs to come from a place of remembering that when this conflict is over, you still want this person in your life. You still want them to be a part of your life. You still love them. They still hold space in your heart. So you need to treat them like that. If they're coming to you all, no, they don't need to do that. But you don't need to react to that. You can witness that they are experiencing that and go, wow, I can see that you are having a difficult time. I can see that there's a lot of work up. I can see that you're very upset. How can I help? How can I assist in this? Is there anything that I can offer? And if they're worked up, it might come into a finger pointing, blame, blame, blame. You did this and you did that and you did this. And that's an opportunity for us to take accountability and say, yeah, okay, I did do that. I see that how that can be upsetting. Yes, I can understand. It's not your opportunity to defend yourself. It's not an opportunity for you to jump in and say, well, this is why you're wrong. Here's why I'm right. And I know we want to. Again, I'm talking from experience. I have done exactly these things. I have been the person that when my partner comes to me and gets upset about stuff, my response is, well, what about you? Instead of hearing what my partner is saying and trying to understand them because of the way that they brought it to me. The tone policing, right? Focus on, well, you're using the wrong tone to share that with me. You're not saying it in the right way. You're not being... Maybe not. Maybe they could use a tone adjustment. Maybe they could use a better way of doing it. But that's not the point. The point is they're bringing something to you that's causing them upset and conflict. And because you care about them, it's needing to not get all worked up and say, whoa. Okay. I can see that you are very, very worked up and upset. Let's try to find a way to talk about it. Let's try to find a way to work on it. Is this easy? No. No. This requires radical accountability. This requires us to be able to regulate our own emotions in the face of a trigger, to do the work to emotionally regulate, to walk away if we need to say, whoa, hey, use our boundaries. Hey, you know what? I'm happy to talk to you about a conflict, but it's not going to be while you're yelling at me. I need you to calm down and then we can talk about it. But I'm not going to sit here and allow you to yell at me. That's not going to be okay. Right? It's about understanding what's actually going on with them and meeting them with a space of compassion and understanding, because this is someone that we love. This is someone we want to be happy. This is someone we want to work together with. So we have to get out of this victim-villain mindset. That's like the really key goal. There's this awesome book. I've referenced it in episodes before, but this is a book a friend of mine recommended to me, and it's fabulous. It is called Crucial Conversations. Crucial Conversations. And in this book, the authors, because there's multiple authors of this book, the authors talk about the victim-villain storyline, the mentality, where when someone brings something to us that creates a feeling in us, a negative feeling, a feeling that doesn't feel so good, that we make them into the villain and us the victim, the thing that the thing's happening to. I'm a victim of your anger. I'm a victim of your bad mood. I'm a victim. A victim means there's nothing you can do about it. It's just happening to you and you just have to deal with it. Okay? That when we get into victimhood mentality, when we're focused on this person did this to me and why are they treating me like this and I didn't do anything and blah, blah, blah. I'm not ripping you apart, okay? I'm not trying to mock you. I'm trying to help you understand. When we get into that mindset, the other person becomes the villain. We stop seeing them as somebody that we love, and we start seeing them as our enemy, as the person we need to fight against, we need to win against. They are the opposite. They are the enemy. We must win. When we get into that mindset, we stop acting from love. We stop acting as if this person is somebody that we value, that we want to be in our life. We start looking at we need to win at all costs. When we get into that mindset, we are not in our higher self. We are not in our most compassionate self. We are not in our best version of ourselves. We are not in our healed state. We are caught in ego. The need to win for what? So you can have a scorecard with all the wins on it to prove, look at how often I'm right and look at how often you're wrong. To what end? That's the ego's thing. The ego wants to win. The ego wants to be the one who's right. The ego wants to have the scorecard. The ego, the higher self says, this person I love, this person I value is struggling right now. How can I be of any help? What do I need to do to take care of myself first and foremost? If I'm activated and worked up, what do I need to do to bring myself back to balance? And then, how can I help in co-regulation to the other person I care about to help bring them back into regulation? We cannot co-regulate if we are dysregulated. If the person that we care about is dysregulated and we meet them with dysregulation, all we end up is a giant bomb of dysregulation for everybody. This includes parenting. This is something I've learned in parenting too. If I meet my child who is dysregulated with my own dysregulation, we both just blow up in dysregulation. But when I can meet my child who is dysregulated in my own state of regulated, when I am calm, I can meet my child with compassion and love and understanding and say, yes, I can see you're struggling with this. Yes, I can see you're having a hard time. How can I help you? How can I support you? How can I be of any assistance with you to get yourself back in? Sometimes it might just be sitting with that person and letting them do what they need to do, just sitting with them, near them, close to them until they're ready. And then just being an ear, being a shoulder, being someone that they can talk to. You don't need to fix it. All you have to do is hear them. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everyone wants to be loved. That's all they're looking for too. They're expressing their needs to you. They're expressing their workup. They're expressing what's going on inside. Maybe not in the bestest way, but they're still expressing it to you. If you meet their dysregulation with your own dysregulation, it does not help anybody. The idea again is to recognize when their dysregulation dysregulates you, it's time for you to excuse yourself, take a break, whatever you need to do, and then do the things that you know to get yourself back into regulation. The somatic breathing, the somatic movement, taking a walk, listening to music, drinking a cold glass of water. Yes, temperatures help. Taking a hot bath. Things that you can do to bring your nervous system back under control, to get yourself out of fight or flight. Because when you are meeting them with fight, if they're coming with fight and you're reacting with fight, that means you are both in dysregulation. You are both in fight or flight mode. That is a dysregulated nervous system. So get your nervous system back under regulation, and then you can meet them. Or take your break, recognize you are dysregulated, get yourself back into regulation, and begin to do the work that you need to heal that pain so that the pain doesn't come back. Do the journal work, do the prayer, do the meditation, whatever you got to do to process through that, to do the deeper work. That's the point of it. They are not the bad guy. They are the catalyst for the growth. They are the catalyst for the learning. If you are not squeezed by the situation, you do not grow. You stay there. You stay there. There's a quote that says, the universe says, I had to make you so uncomfortable that you'd move. I had to make things so uncomfortable that you finally chose to move. Because if the universe did not create that discomfort, you'd have just stayed there because you were comfortable, because everything was fine. There must be something that pushes you to do something else. And that is often the discomfort, the dysregulation, whatever it is. It's meant for you to recognize there is something that within you that needs to be addressed, regardless of who brought it to you and why, isn't the point. This is your journey. This is your path. The healing path is about what do you need to do to let go of the things holding you back? What do you need to do to be your best and greatest self? What do you need to do to be your most authentic you? They're a catalyst. They're not the cause. They're not the enemy. They're a catalyst. Okay? You don't have to solve their problems. They don't have to solve yours. You simply just need to see, what did it bring up in you? And what still needs to be addressed. That's all. I know it sounds simple. It is not. It is very hard. It takes multiple lessons and repetition for you to change the behavior, for you to not be triggered, for you not to be reactive. And I understand. I cannot believe the person I used to be. I used to be so freaking angry, so reactive, blow up. I'm talking blow up. I'm talking threatening violence, bad violence to myself or to my partner when I was very angry. And I let every nasty thought that happened in my head come out my mouth. And I shared every nasty, mean, horrible, awful thing that passed through my head out my mouth. And I caused pain with the words that came out of my mouth. And at the time, I did not see that I was causing pain because I was just venting out the awful feelings that were inside of me. And it caused pain to those around me. So I understand when someone else does that it's not me. They're not throwing it at me personally. They are venting out the pain that is inside them because that's exactly what I was doing until I learned to do better, until I learned to hear the parts of myself that were so triggered, that were so upset, that needed to be heard, seen, felt, validated. When I began to do that work, I didn't need someone else to do that. Those big rages stopped happening. But it took time. It took effort for me to learn new tools. That's all this journey is about. And it's never over. It's a constant journey. New things are always being dug up. Let's say it's up to here, as you work your way down, there's more down here that's going to come up. And it's going to keep going until you have less and less and less to do, but there's going to still be stuff to do. This is the journey. Okay. I really need to share that just because I've seen so much of it and seen so many people focused on the blame shifting. It's their fault I'm feeling this way. They're this, they're that, they're this thing. They should be different. They should change. It's not about that. If you're focused on how the other person should change, it's because you're ignoring the thing within you that needs to be changed. You're expecting them not to poke your wound. They should change and not do that. That causes me pain. Well, if you heal the wound, it won't hurt when someone pokes it. It doesn't matter how much they poke it. You'll just be like, why are you doing that? What's going on? Why are you doing that? That's weird. That's a little odd. Okay. You do you, dude. That's the point. Okay, so I needed to share that. I needed to get this out into the world. I have a few more videos to share. I've got a couple other concepts that have been floating around. I just haven't had time to film. I'll probably be getting those out soon, I hope, and getting them filmed before Christmas break because I won't be able to film anything during Christmas break when my kid's home. But I just needed to share that so that you guys can hear it. This is part of the journey. Don't worry about who triggered you. What did it trigger? That's the point. Okay. So I hope that this gave you some insight. I hope that this helped you in some way. Okay. I hope this can help guide you forward and wherever you're at on this journey. So until next time, keep letting go of all those things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light. Bye.